Murder numbers continue to rise. A Jamaican singing sensation had a brush with the law, and two veteran PLPs engage in a public spat over BPL's billing to its customers. We've got those stories and others. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. After 3 murders in just 48 hours, a high-ranking police officer said there's no need for Bahamians to be afraid of crime.
2 men found dead in 2 separate incidents, and a shooting at a popular hangout took the country's murder count to 72 for the year. The 3 homicides all happened within 48 hours. The latest incident happened at around 6:50 a.m. on Sunday. Police say they received a report of a man found dead in the area of a park located in Flint Street. When they arrived at the park, they found the lifeless body of a man with a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A few hours earlier, around 10:30 Saturday, police said they discovered another man who was shot to death. Police said they received a report of a man found dead at his residence on Ludlow Street. When they arrived, they found the lifeless body of a man who had been shot in his chest. He was pronounced dead at the scene by EMS personnel. The first incident took place at around midnight on Friday. Police say when the victim with 2 other men were at Porter's Key Dock when they were shot. They were taken to hospital where 1 man died after the arrival and 2 others, aged 24 and 49, were listed in serious condition. Despite the 3 new murders, officer in charge of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Clayton Fernandez, said the public has no need to be afraid. In an interview with the Tribune on Tuesday, Chief Superintendent Fernandez responded to messages on social media that warned Bahamians to stay inside their homes this weekend because of a gang war that had erupted. He said the entire country is in safe hands and the only gang that matters is the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Archbishop Patrick Pinder of the Catholic Archdiocese on Wednesday called for the government to abolish the death penalty and focus instead on offender rehabilitation. Archbishop Pinder's remarks came in a joint pastoral statement from the bishops of the Antilles Episcopal Conference in commemoration of the Catholic Church's extraordinary Jubilee Year of Mercy. The bishops, 19 of whom are signatories to the document, are urging governments and citizens to the region to abolish capital punishment. The statement said to take away a person's basic right to immunity from fatal harm is to compromise his or her sacred dignity. It said while a climate of lawlessness is prevalent in the Bahamas and the region, capital punishment does not assist the criminal to reform, nor does it assist the victim to restore his or her violated dignity. As such, Archbishop Pinder said the Bahamas, as a member of the AEC along with the AEC's other regional members, should instead focus on restorative justice to bring about the true criminal justice reform, which includes addressing the factors which contribute to crime and strengthening the capacity of criminal justice systems to address crime and violence. The last person executed in the Bahamas was David Mitchell in January 2000.
Jamaican singer Jack Hure found himself before the courts this week. However, the charges were later dropped.
The Jamaican reggae star found himself in the magistrate's court on Tuesday, accused of committing a misdemeanor that stemmed from an argument that was captured on video and shared thousands of times on social media. The singer, 39, whose real name is Sikator Alcock, appeared before Magistrate Samuel McKinney along with his 26-year-old countryman, Tarif Mason, to face a single charge of fighting in a public place in an incident at Paradise Island on November 13th. A third named accuser, 22-year-old Bahamian national Trevor Thompson, was not present at the arraignment. However, the singer was later discharged of the offense. It was alleged that the trio, while at Atlantis Resort Paradise Island in New Providence and being concerned together with others, did disturb the peace by fighting. A conviction of the misdemeanor carries a $150 fine. The artist, who was in the country for a concert last weekend, pleaded not guilty to the charge when called on by the magistrate during his arraignment. The Free National Movement's Pinewood Constituency Association has branded the party deceitful and disrespectful amid accusations that F&M leader Dr. Hubert Menes broke assurances of support for talk show host Lincoln Bain as the party's standard bearer for the seat and chose Reuben Ramming as the candidate for the 2017 general election. While the party was in the process of organizing its candidates launch on Tuesday night, where Mr. Ramming was officially ratified, executives of the association were drafting a stinging criticism of Dr. Menes and rejecting the new candidate. And in the strongest form of dismissal, several of the constituency association's members attended the event, donning fluorescent orange signs and placards in support of Mr. Bain and bashing Dr. Menes. However, attempts to display their displeasure center stage at the event were thwarted by Royal Bahamas Police Force officers who contained the group a few feet away from the platform. According to a letter obtained by the Tribune and sent to the F&M executives, the Pinewood Association said they were concerned that the leadership of the F&M were not acting in an equitable manner and requested a full inquiry into matters related to Mr. Bain's candidacy. Party Chairman Sidney Collier said Mr. Bain was given fair play, but he simply didn't pass the vetting process.
Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller insists that Bahamians are experiencing increased BPL bills because the company is forcing us to pay for their repairs post-Hurricane Matthew.
Mr. Miller on Wednesday accused Bahamas Power and Light of increasing customers' light bill in order to pay millions of dollars to foreigners who came to assist in the restoration process of Hurricane Matthew. In an interview with the Tribune, Mr. Miller said BPL does not give a damn about the Bahamian people. He said the government should be ashamed for allowing the company to disconnect Bahamians for non-payment when persons were still struggling in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew. Mr. Miller, a former executive chairman of Bahamas Electricity Corporation, said he has received dozens of calls from persons who have had their electricity turned off for a month's payment. BEC was renamed Bahamas Power and Light earlier this year. On Monday, the corporate communications manager, Arnett Ingram, confirmed that BPL has resumed disconnections of past due accounts. However, Mrs. Ingram said the company is only disconnecting accounts with outstanding balances prior to Hurricane Matthew. However, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brake Davis on Thursday refuted Mr. Miller's claims, saying they were nonsense, and he stressed that power bills have decreased by nearly 40% since the Progressive Liberal Party took office. Breaking away from his speech at a commissioning ceremony for Bahamas Power and Light's new 6,000 kilowatt standby generation plant in Harbour Island, Eleuthera on Thursday, Mr. Davis admitted that he was surprised while reading Mr. Miller's claims in Thursday's edition of the Tribune. Assertions he said misrepresented the hard work the government has done to lower energy costs since 2012. When asked later by this newspaper about Mr. Miller's continued attacks on BPL since leaving the utility provider just prior to its transition, Mr. Davis said he was lost when it came to what Mr. Miller was trying to do.
Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com, like us on Facebook at the Tribune News Network, send us a tweet at Tribune242, or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.